Well, welcome back to another My Point of View. This one is going to be on the Fourth Amendment, just as soon as I can get that crap out of my way, because I don't remember this one by heart. I remember a lot of them by heart, but I don't remember this one by heart. But it's very, very, very important. I know what it means, and that's what I'm going to explain. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, effects against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated. No warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by the oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Wow, I read that in less than a minute. And I understand it in less than a minute, but I'll go ahead and explain it a little bit. The right of a person, you, to be secure, locked up tight, privacy, everything. And your persons, meaning yourself, your house, everything inside that door belongs to you. Your papers, oh, yeah, your papers, your identification, your social security number, everything else, you have the right not to show those to anybody, including a police officer. That is part of this amendment. You have the right to be secure in your information. You don't have to show it to anybody. And effects, meaning what you own, against unreasonable searches and seizures, meaning nobody can take it from you, nobody can even look at it without your permission or a warrant. A warrant. Well, you might be asking yourself, why a warrant? A warrant can only be issued by a judge or a high ranking military official. Yes, a high ranking military official can actually write a warrant. But in that warrant, they must be specific, all the way down to your name, what piece of property they want to look at inside of your home, what papers they want to see inside of your home. Yeah, you can keep all that under wraps until they produce a paper warrant. A paper warrant gives them permission to look into those things, including your phone records and stuff like that. Without that, they really can't do nothing. They have to suspect you of a crime first, because they have to go to the judge or the high ranking officer and sit there and go, well, we believe that this person's done this, and this is what little bit of proof we have in order to get enough evidence to show beyond a reasonable amount, or beyond a reasonable doubt, we're going to need to search his things. But this is what we have so far. So, yes, they have to produce some evidence, even if it's their gut instinct. If they go up and say, I believe that this person has done this, that can sometimes be enough if there's physical evidence backing this up. Like, I believe this man committed murder because he came into my office with blood on his shirt. Okay, well, go get a search warrant for the shirt. All right. There's no actual physical evidence yet, but there is a belief of a crime. So there is probable cause there. All right. And it has to be supported by the oath of affirmation. The oath of affirmation means that you are to withhold the Constitution as valid law, as the highest law of the land. All right. So they have to describe where they're going to search, who they're going to search, and what they're searching for in that warrant. So if they show up to your house and they knock and you look at that warrant and they got the wrong address, you could tell them you've got the wrong address. You could tell them your address. And sometimes you get an apology. Sometimes you don't. Don't know why. All right? Because the police, if they're wrong, they should apologize for it. That's simple, basic. You know, if you've done something wrong, you should say you're sorry. And the reason why this has gotten so important these days is because people think that the government has the authority without a trial to seize property. That's not right. No, you need a trial first. You cannot seize a possession without a trial or without a warrant. Um, You cannot just walk up and take somebody's property without a warrant, without that first trial, which is a trial even though you're not present for it. And if they don't find evidence to take you to trial, they must return the property in the condition that they got it. Yes, that is also covered in the Fourth Amendment because you are to be secure in your possessions, meaning that even if they take it, they cannot destroy it. They have to bring it back in the same condition or replace it. Yeah. So how's that for your bubble? Meaning that if you go and have your car towed because your license was suspended or revoked, if you go into that impound lot and they have destroyed your windshield or they have broken a mirror off in the process of towing it to the impound lot, the government is actually responsible for replacing the damages and fixing the damages. If they don't do it, you could actually take them to court over the Fourth Amendment and over, I believe it's the Sixth Amendment, which we will be getting to. So, yes, you have to be justly compensated for any damages the government does to your property. Wow, that's another thing a lot of people don't think about. The government cannot just come in and take your shit. Sorry. Now, going further into this, oh, they need a warrant to come in and look for anything. Cop cannot pull you over alongside the road and seize anything out of your car or anything else. Matter of fact, they can't even search your car without your permission. Nope. Covered by the Fourth Amendment. They cannot. They can ask you for an ID. But believe it or not, by the Fourth Amendment, you have the right to actually refuse to show them ID. Any law that voids that is actually voiding the Constitution of the United States, since you cannot void the Constitution of the United States. And if you're talking plainly like this with a police officer, they will understand. You can give your name verbally, and you don't have to show ID. And that's good enough. They cannot search your ID. They cannot search this, that, and the other one. But if you give them a false name, you're in the wrong. You can be taken to jail for giving them a false identification. But you can identify yourself just by your name. And they have to take your word for it. Now, going a little bit further into that, if you've ever been a victim of a seizure of any property without a warrant, you actually have just cause to take that to court. They need a warrant to seize property, even if they find illegal property inside of your home. If they did not have a warrant to enter or probable cause to enter thinking that you had that item in your home that was illegal at the point in time, you actually have a case. Even if you have something that is illegal, unless they have seen it themselves, which they can't say, well, I looked in the door. No, because that would mean that they've already gone against the Fourth Amendment and they've looked inside the door and saw it. They can't look inside the door. They can't see anything inside the house. They got to act like that door is still closed until they have permission to enter or a warrant to enter. Even if they see something illegal on that kitchen table, they need to turn around, go out and radio a judge and get a warrant. So you are safe in your personal possessions by the Fourth Amendment. They cannot ask you for a vaccine card. Fourth Amendment trumps that. If anybody asks you for a vaccine card, doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not, tell them no. It is illegal for them to even ask for that because that's asking for private personal information. Whether that be a person or a police officer, you don't have to show it. And I would suggest going to jail overnight to have a judge throw it out. Because the more that they see non-compliance to a tyrannical law and a tyrannical government, the less likely this government is to succeed in destroying all of us. Y'all have a good one. I ran a little bit over on this one, but glad to see so many people liking this kind of content. I've got views out the rear end. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying giving you guys a little bit of knowledge. You know, we got to stay safe out here, and today, with the way that everybody's being exploited, we need to know these rules, and we need to know them well. So, y'all have a good one.